This is the Ovonic 2S 5800 milliamp hour 100C battery. Now we've just had a bunch of rain and we're about to go out to the hills. You can't really see them properly at the moment. You can't see them at all because there's so much rain. Now you guys may know that I have a lot of batteries here. Let me show you. I've got everything from the tiniest little 1S batteries all the way up to the big hulking 6S bricks. I've even had some 8S ones before when I needed double that power. Today we have behind us a BMX track and we're going to run in series. And instead of being 2S, that's going to give us 4S. So the power goes from one to the other. Now we've had a lot of rain recently and there's a lot of places that are in flood. So later today we're going to do both these 2S cells in parallel and we're going to check out our runtime. Last night we ran the BRX01 on the muddy trail up in Warrandyte and that gave us about 1 hour and 25 minutes of runtime. And that was just on a single battery and I've got mud all through this even after cleaning it up. I'm going to plug this guy in. Now one thing I noticed is there's a no spark setup on these, which is really nice. So we're going to listen for a spark right now because when we connect this it'll have power. There was no spark. That's very refreshing. Now I haven't run this on 4S before, but I'm thinking it'll be alright. Let's do it. This is the version 3. It's got a fair few improvements on it. And even on 4S it has sufficient power. Beautiful. What a great place. It is lacking some of the snappiness on 6S, but certainly it's got enough for fun. What a fabulous machine. These Ovonic batteries being 100C means higher C rating. If you're not familiar, it means a higher discharge potential. It means it can release more of its power in one hit. Really where you notice the high discharge in a battery is when you need to pull a lot of power out of it at once, which is in something heavy like this, particularly when it's working hard, the throttle's pinned a lot. The batteries are basically being asked to release as much current as they can give. Really you want your batteries to be able to handle whatever the ESC asks. So 4S actually makes the Kraton somewhat as tame as it's going to get, but I got to tell you, it's nice being able to just pin the throttle and know that these batteries will be fine. And for all day bashing, particularly if I gave this to my boy, who's kind of heavy on the throttle, as kids tend to be, I just wouldn't be worried about the thing like I would be with 6S. 4S is actually quite good for this. The other place I found these little batteries to be great was last night. Yeah, we had the BRX01s out last night and I stuck one of these in. These batteries only turned up yesterday. I stuck one of these batteries into that. Now that's running about as tame a motor as you could get. It's a 16 turn 5-pole 550. Super tame. But that means the battery wasn't working hard. But what this high C rating helps to do is it supports the capacity. So they're 5800 rated. I got an hour and a half, or an hour and 24 I got out of it, including a lot at second speed up hills. Like I pushed it, and when we were done, that was including lots of water. This battery was at storage charge after an hour and a half of non-stop driving. Huh? Oh, this is great. but it's great to know that I can just keep punching this and I know the batteries will stand up to it. But I also haven't really let off this thing since we've been here. Ugh. Poor old Kraton is working hard. Okay, I'm just going to pin this for a little while. I don't have to worry about the temperature. Look at that, long grass and wet, and the throttle's pinned. So this is about as hard a drive as you could expect for the Kraton, honestly. That was full beans the whole time. That's really hard on an electronic system. Now if we did that on 6S, that would have been, that's burnout territory, that, for the motor especially. Okay, that was 17 minutes, and what are we on? Let's have a look. Storage charge. Now that's about as punishing as it gets. The batteries are slightly warm. A 4S setup is actually going to be easier on the batteries than 6. The motor is warm, the ESC would have been warm too. I wanted to give these batteries as hard a time as I could, and I'm happy with them. They're slightly warm and that's it. For 17 minutes of hard driving, not bad. Now we're gonna pop them on the charger while we drive to the next location. Two full Ovonics once again. The SCX6 runs on 2S or 3S, although it's a bigger motor. It's lower kV, it's a 1200 kV motor. So I can put batteries in both sides and I can connect them both and we can run in parallel, which is perfect for this machine. For a crawler, capacity, the total capacity is arguably your most important metric, because your discharge potential, which is your C rating, isn't generally called upon as heavily in a crawler as it is on a basher. Ugh. And so being that it's on 1200 kV, we should get reasonably good runtime out of it. We're in second gear with our SCX6. Our kangaroo friends are ignoring us over there. Mostly. Hey big fella. All right. Nice. What we're here for. Look at it go. So I haven't actually seen the water this high before. We may not be able to get very far today. I don't know how deep this is. I know where the trail usually goes. It's actually, it goes down and up. This might be all we do. Let's have a look. I wouldn't be able to depth test with a smaller car, but the big SCX6 gives me that option. We want to get around the corner and head up. We might have to backtrack, I think. Let's just see how deep this is. Yeah, it's going to be too deep. Okay, backtrack it is. The SCX6 is happy in rain or dry. My experience with it so far has been you can take it pretty much anywhere. And the mass in this vehicle means it'll just ride over stuff. I don't really know how deep that is. Probably deep enough, yeah. Right, well, we might head back. This is an adventure. Sometimes when I'm driving, I have a thought in the back of my mind, a little worry about running out of batteries. I usually carry a bag with a spare battery on my back, so I can bang that into the car if it runs out, but I haven't brought any spares with me today. I've been playing with these Ovonics long enough that I'm quite comfortable with them. And I expect we're going to get a good amount of time. I think these are my new favorite batteries. 2S batteries anyway. I can't wait to try their 3S stuff. Oh, I'm having a great time. I wish you guys were here. I'd love to crawl with some of you. There's something about being able to hang out with people that just is the icing on the cake. Now we're rolling in second gear. On 3S that would be generating excess heat, but in 2S, just like in the Kraton running on 4, when it can take 6, it's the same thing. You've just got the headroom. I think we should do this hill. Go down, come back up. It's really steep. I know from my full-size four-wheel driving days, the camera never really shows how steep something is. It's a steep one. Steep enough that I'll stop driving to walk it. We're not going to get far along here. We usually walk all through the rocks along here, but clearly that's not an option today. It'll get quickly deep, I suspect. Oh, that's not too bad. There'll be a hole somewhere though, and I don't really want to lose this thing. Oh, it's washy. What a great car this thing is, eh? I value having good batteries. It can make or break your day out. And I'm so thankful to be able to say that these are as good as advertised in my experience with them so far. SCX6 having a great old time up the hill. All right. Wow. Man, that's moving, isn't it? Look at that. It's easy to forget how heavy this car is. It's doing a lot of work here. It's a very steep hill. We've run comps here before and it's a great place for it. I'm going to continue using these. I like them very much. Loves it. The one metric I haven't been able to show on camera is their price to performance. 64 Australian dollars at time of publication for one of these. I'd usually expect to pay $80 to $100 for something of these specs. And given that we've been able to back it up with the performance on 3 different cars, including the Kraton today, I'm sufficiently happy to say, hey guys, check it out for the price. I don't think you can do better. You can find out for yourself by going to Ovonic's website. The link's in the description. My thanks to Ovonic for providing them for review, and my thanks to you, the viewer, for watching. Throw me a like if you got something out of it, and thanks for joining me. I'll catch you again real soon on RC-TNT. Thanks, guys. Hey, big boys.